are those investors different than like the traditional like Shark Tank investors?
There's a choice really when you're talking about investment.
Okay.
It's either essentially equity, ownership in the company, or debt. Now, in the business world, debt can be a preferred position because if you go out of business, they're the ones who will get all that's left over. The people who are owners and equity investors, they might be left with nothing. So in the case of historically for FruitCraft, the $3.8 million we've raised, that has come like the Shark Tank style, typically. Now, I've seen on Shark Tank, they've actually done royalty deals and they haven't given away ownership. So investors who know the different instruments, they can choose it based on whatever works for their portfolio and their strategy. But when it comes to control of the company, all those investors who invested into FruitCraft got non-voting shares. They're silent partners. They cannot tell me what to do. They will never be able to. And when we're talking about the trust that we're forming, that is going to have employee owner beneficiaries and member owner or consumer owner beneficiaries, both of those of which are merit-based, and you have to work through a system to vest into that ownership. Those are the voting shares of the company, meaning the control of the company is not going to be in the hands of financial interests. It'll be in the interests of consumers and laborers who are the masses, and it's important that companies are accountable to them. In addition to investors, I mean, I'm actually toying right now because what we're talking about is this trust instrument. And whenever you look into trust, what you're going to find is that you can customize this financial instrument. I don't even know what you would call a trust. It's like it was invented by people to hide money and pass it on to their family with no tax consequences and stuff. But it's a super flexible instrument that allows you to add a different class of beneficiary with different stipulations. And so I'm considering taking the WeFunder investors and adding them on as investor beneficiaries to get a certain amount of say, a certain amount of a voice at the table, because I do think that there is a level of ownership that capital interests should have, but it should be in relation to all the other stakeholders.